Hello everyone and welcome back to Copper Meadows. We look forward to bringing you coverage here today of show jumping. I'm standing here with Corey Davis and a golden effort who had a great ride in the Western Underground CIC 2-star division. Just one rail down for you in that triple. The triple has been riding tough all day.
Yeah, it was tough. He was really, really good through the whole thing. He got wasn't quite paying attention there, and I just didn't get him looking at it early enough. But I was super proud of him to jump out of that clean. He's a little horse, so making those distances sometimes, especially if we have not the best ride in. So I'm super happy with him.
All right, well, congratulations to you and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, Frankie.
Tamara Smith joining me now. Twisted Sister just wrapping up in the Western Underground CIC 2-star division, and this horse more rideable than ever this weekend.
Yeah, it was. I actually had too much bit in there, and so I kind of choked her down to I had two rails. One I think was just unlucky, and the other one was mine. So, but I'd rather that than I'm just trying to get to know her, and she's becoming more rideable. And of course, I want to shoot myself because I hate having rails, but it's just going to be a process to figure each other out.
Getting better and better.
Yeah, it is. She was great.
All right, well, congratulations on today and the rideability in that mare that you've created. And also Kevin Baumgartner just putting in a double clean round on his horse. So Tammy also playing the role of coach and rider this weekend.
Yeah, he's been really good. That's a new horse to him that we bought through Joe Meyer and bought it from Tim Price in England. And it's been so great for Kevin to have such a great horse. It's really an unbelievable jumper, and he needed that after his first ride. His older horse is just not as careful, and it's not careful at all, actually. So it was good for him to go in there and have a great round.
All right, well, lots of excitement happening here this weekend. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Certainly the story of the weekend is Autumn, who stands next to me, who's made the trip all the way from Florida to be here in this Western Underground CIC 2-star division, and a double clean round today.
I am so thankful I have a beautiful horse. It was definitely a challenging course, and he gave me a run for my money.
Well, there's been so many rails falling down in that ring today, and were you nervous headed in?
I was so nervous. I haven't had a proper jump school in 3 weeks. I must thank Leslie Law and Gina Miles.
Well, in addition to Autumn's really great riding here at Copper Meadows, she's also pretty accomplished in the classroom. So she's not your traditional rider who may be focusing on riding all the time. She's also a full-time student as well, a pre-med student nonetheless. So she's got a very full plate on her hands and coming here and doing very, very well so far.
It's actually just been a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much.
All right, well, congratulations. A great day here for you.
Thank you.
Frederick Boulon sitting in third place in the State Farm CIC 1-star division. And Frederick, you have a great history with this horse. Just tell us a little bit about those for those who don't know.
Well, King Louis is actually a horse that I bought from my friend and veterinarian, Dr. Jennifer Miller. She bred him, and I bought him. He was a little more than a year. And so I had him for 7 years. And he's been an interesting horse to work with. He's not mature in any way, shape, or form, but so am I. So I guess it's a good match.
And you've had so many horses over the years, Frederick. When you're looking at a horse like that, was there something unique or special about him that you said, I think this horse could be a good eventer?
I've always liked the horses that Jennifer bred. And she was successful herself on her own horses. And somehow, one moment, it sounded like she has one too many, and in a time of weakness, I was able to snatch her from her. I knew the mare, and the mare bred she had a lot of horses from that mare who were all good, all of them. So there was an opportunity, and I didn't want to miss it.
Well, they definitely say that in a lot of breeding, the mare is so important, and really it does dictate a lot the horse you get from it. And King Louis has proven to be a really good horse thus far in his career, still a young horse, but show jumping clean today to move you up a few spots to sit in that third place spot going into tomorrow's cross country. And the rails are really coming down today.
Yeah, I think so. I think the course suited me very well because he's a horse who liked to wade the base a lot, and he's really quick on his forehand. So it was much easier for me to just keep waiting for those to come to me. And I know he'd always get his leg out of there. He doesn't touch in front, just the back if it happened, or it's me doing a mistake. So, and he could turn, and I was able to see some rider before, seeing that the time was fairly easy to make. So I started on the quieter side, and we were on, both of us. He was on, I was on. It was a good day.
All right, well, a fun duo to watch. Thanks so much, Clayton, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Whitney Tucker moving herself all the way up into the second position with the double clean round today. And Whitney, a lot of those rails were coming down, but not for you in Chavez Ravine. Just your overall impression of the course today and why it might have been riding so tough.
Walking it didn't seem like it would be super tough. There are a lot of combinations and lines, and you just had to be able to come out and be positive and ride forward. I'm really lucky in that my horse wants to be really careful, so if I ride correctly and keep coming out of my turns, he'll jump double clean all day long for me. So that's kind of a neat thing about him. I'm not really sure why it was riding that tough. I know maybe, the first fence was a little bit on the smaller side, and then all of a sudden you jumped up to the next vertical was 3.9. So I think that had a little bit to do with it. And then just a little bit of a spookier ring because it's smaller and you've got a tent that's new. So a lot of horses weren't really sure what to do with that. But overall, I felt like it rode really well.
Well, the course tomorrow is tricky, not overly tricky in the one-star division, the State Farm CIC one-star, but tricky enough, and there are definitely questions out there to be answered.
I haven't actually had a chance to go walk it, but no matter how tricky it is or what it is, I've just got to be out there and be positive with him. And as long as I keep coming forward and I keep the connection, he'll jump all day long for me. I just got to ride him right.
All right, well, good luck tomorrow. Congratulations, a great day for you.
Thank you, Frankie.
Rita's Bright Spark and Tamara Smith putting in a great round here in the State Farm CIC one-star division to secure the lead going into tomorrow's cross country. And Tammy, this horse has come a long way. We talked about your partnership continuing to form with him, and he's a big guy. So going into that ring, pretty twisty, turny, but he put in a good show jumping for you.
Yeah, he was great. He was super rideable, and it was cool going in right after my daughter, who had a really good round as well. I'm really happy with him, really pleased.
Well, the Hudsons should be very, very proud with that. And just your game plan going into tomorrow's cross country. It's very hard to make the time here, and we know that. I mean, this course is really twisty-turny in cross country as well as it was in show jumping today. So your game plan going into that.
I have about 5 points ahead of second, so I'm just going to go out and aim for a good round and, send him forward through the long stretches, but not really. I mean, that'll give me about 8 seconds, or maybe a little more, actually more than 8 seconds that I can be behind the clock. So, I'm just going to ride the horse I have, and he is very green at the level. So I'm really looking to go out there and have a good, confident round.
All right, well, congratulations. Tamara Smith and Rita's Bright Spark will be your leaders in the State Farm CIC one-star division going into tomorrow's cross country.
Thank you.
Deborah Rosen and the Alchemist putting in the first clean round of the day in the advanced division, and a great, beautiful round here. It's a course that's had a few rails so far in various places, not really necessarily one part, but a very forward riding course.
Yeah, definitely a forward riding course, but I have to watch with him because he gets really forward, and he was just so rideable and so good today. I couldn't be happier.
Well, even coming down to that very last jump, he got really deep and he just popped you up over it. He looked just really, really great today.
He felt great. Fortunately, I have Grant Showalter working on him. He worked on him this morning, and I was like, I could barely stay in the tack in the warm-up. It was awesome.
All right, well, Al's feeling 15 going on 4 today, so congratulations on a great go.
8, because he has more miles,
Congratulations.
Thank you, Frankie, so much.
James Atkinson joining me now, the man who is really behind all these amazing courses out here, and he's going to now talk with us a little bit about what the riders in the State Farm CIC 1-star and the Western Underground CIC 2-star will tackle on Sunday. And James, first, this place has really just had a full facelift. It seems like every time we come here it gets better and better, more trees, more jumps, more to look at all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the work that we've done over the past 4 years now is really starting to be recognized. Stuff like that, improvements like vegetation, it takes some time really to start looking good. But yeah, we're proud of it now. It really is starting to look good, isn't it?
And how exciting is it for you as a course designer now to get to come to your home turf and think about all the changes you get to make here, the courses you're putting forth here for riders?
Well, the theory is sound, right? You'd think I would get to spend a lot more time here designing and coming up with ideas, and I should, and I do try to, but unfortunately, I'm gone a lot and working in other jobs, so sometimes this gets put on the back burner, you know? But you still, when you're this familiar with a property, even out here schooling or riding, teaching, you start to notice little bits of terrain or little turns, ways that you can really make this course interesting.
Well, the terrain here is so interesting and such an interesting thing to talk about, because for some horses that come to Copper Meadows, these boulders and things that really we don't see at any other venues and really make this venue unique can catch some horses out, and you use those to your advantage when designing.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we're really careful with them at the lower levels. Like any aspect of course design, we try to introduce things at the bottom and then work up from there. Beginner novice, does have a fence beside a rock, but it is a 12-foot fence, pretty straightforward, end of the course heading towards home. And it goes up from there. But they are fun. They're really useful to encourage the horse and rider onto a particular line that you want them to be on, or make a certain turn, and can certainly use fairly benign and straightforward fences to create quite a technical combination using the rocks. And the terrain here, I wouldn't call it a hilly site, but it's very rolling. And I've been able to find the ideal piece of terrain for pretty much everything that I've wanted to put together, just by moving around and looking around and riding around the property and maybe scratching the dirt a little bit. But there's a little bit of everything here. It's really enjoyable to work here, to build here and design.
Well, first, in the State Farm CIC One-Star Division, what will be some of the things that riders will need to do to be successful come Sunday?
So I think the one-star course is definitely a one-star course. I think the feeling from the officials who, they come in here and are able to be a little more objective than myself, obviously, being here all the time. And so their impression was that it certainly is a one-star. It's not the hardest one-star that's out there, but certainly not the easiest either, and it's certainly not a preliminary course. So being on the smaller property, we try to encourage the horses and riders to get out and be able to gallop. So using the early part of the course for that, progressively bigger fences quite early. First combination is a little tricky, one stride log down bank. The horses, I think, jump that well, but then the turn to a max top spread, was it a 7-foot wide table? It's quite a significant question. But again, hopefully a fairly forward riding combination, and then they get some gallop space. I think a decent variety of questions, again using the terrain. A pretty cool new water up towards the front of the property, and so we'll see how they manage that. I actually used some of their questions there, some of their fences there on the intermediate course earlier in the year, so I feel pretty confident that it's going to go the way I expect it to go. But I think for the one-star rider, it's definitely going to be challenging. Again, using the rocks in a few places. They have a narrow oxer, which could be, a little tricky. And then their corner at the end, downhill, a little off camber, off a big top spread fence. It could be significant. Yeah, it may not be a dressage show.
Absolutely not. One of the funnest parts about watching these 3-day events. And in the Western Underground CIC 2-Star Division, obviously these are new FEI events to Copper Meadows, and very exciting weekend here overall, and what riders can expect maybe to see in that 2-star and spectators as well.
I think comparatively, I think the 2-star may be a little stiffer than the 1-star. I don't know what kind of feedback you've had on that, but it is. I mean, I actually really enjoy designing at the intermediate 2-star level. I feel like I have a really good handle on where that level is out of all the levels, actually. I think that's probably my favorite. And so, again, I feel confident that they will handle the questions that are out there. But they have some stuff to do. The course is laid out in a very similar manner to the 1-star. Again, encouraging the forward gallop early. A pretty big combination early with the Tricaner to the narrow table for them. But I think they'll handle it well. Again, the thoughts of the officials was that it's a little bit more challenging, I think, than the 1-star. But the point of us stepping up and running these CICs here are to prepare the horses and riders for Rebecca Farms to get them qualified. This is the last CIC event before that. And Ian Stark has a very definite style, right? Quite big, quite bold, going distances. This property doesn't really lend itself to, but wherever I can, I try to encourage that kind of a ride so that hopefully they're heading up there with not only a successful ride here, but the right feel that they're going to need to replicate on that course.
All right, well, we're very excited to watch both of those courses be ridden on Sunday. Thank you so much, James.
Thank you.
That's it for our Day 2 coverage here from Ramona, California. For Copper Meadows, I'm Frankie Terriot. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for our cross-country finale.